turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world.
Happy Thanksgiving, my American friends. Tonight, we're talking about something that is finally happening after years of experts asking, wait, how is it not happening already? And that is, the Republican Party is eating itself alive. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the MAGA movement, same people who once synchronized their chants like a very angry barbershop quartet, have now turned those chants inward. Because nothing says functional political party like a full-scale civil war fought through press releases and train wreck Oval Office press conferences.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter.
And of course, rage posts at 3:12 a.m. Tonight, we're going to talk about all of it. Who's dissenting, what they're saying, what Trump's yelling back, why the whole thing matters, and why the Democrats are somehow still capable of losing despite being handed a silver platter with "just don't screw this up" engraved on it. The GOP today is essentially a terrible family Thanksgiving. Uncle Don is screaming, Aunt Marge is crying, Cousin Tom brought up the Epstein files during dessert, and everyone is pretending the mashed potatoes aren't lumpy. For years, Republicans marched in lockstep behind Trump like he was Moses and the RNC was the Red Sea. But now you have Republicans nervously tiptoeing away like, I love Moses. I just maybe would prefer if Moses wasn't screaming at clouds and threatening to primary the Israelites. Specifically, the fractures are happening because the economy feels awful. Grocery prices are ridiculous. Energy bills are performing economic jump scares. And Trump keeps insisting everything is fine in the same tone people use when their house is on fire, but they don't want the neighbors to know.
They have this new word called affordability. It was a con job. Affordability, they call it, was a con job by the Democrats. More than anything else, it's a con job by the Democrats.
I don't want to hear about the affordability. Every price is down.
Costs are way down.
Groceries are way down. Everything is way down.
Talked about, oh, prices are up. No. Prices are down.
Now let's talk about the dissenters. Republicans who have suddenly discovered courage, like they found it behind the sofa cushions. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes, her. The woman who once claimed California wildfires might be caused by space lasers owned by the Rothschilds is now saying the sane things in the room. Recently, she dropped this absolute banger of a line.
Costs have not come down. I myself can tell you my apartment here in Washington, D.C., the electricity bill is $100 more than it was last year, because you can look at your own bill and look at costs. Prices have not come down. That is a reality. People's wages have not gone up. That's another reality. And so Americans are continuing to have a very difficult time.
Grocery prices are high. My electricity bills are higher. MTG, actual quote. You know things are bad when Marjorie Taylor Greene becomes the voice of real-world economic struggle.
Starving. You.
Really? It's like finding out Big Bird has been managing the Pentagon. Comforting, but also deeply concerning. She also said Republicans are basically gaslighting voters on affordability.
And so gaslighting the people and trying to tell them that prices have come down is not helping. It's actually infuriating people, because people know what they're paying at the grocery store. They know what they're paying for their kids' clothes and school supplies. They know what they're paying for their electricity bills. And so that approach does not work. We need compassion, and show that we care about the American people, and show that we are in the trenches with them on what they're going through. That's first and foremost. You don't gaslight them, you don't lecture them, and you don't deny what's happening.
That's what you call accidentally telling the truth.
The last administration had the greatest inflation in the history of our country. And now, as you know, groceries are down. It's all down.
Trying to tell them that prices have come down is not helping. You don't deny what's happening.
Her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
And for this honesty, Trump responded by saying she had lost her way. Yes, according to Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene has lost her way, which is remarkable because she has never had a way. She's just been wandering the ideological wilderness like a Roomba with a knife taped to it. Don Bacon. If MTG is the grenade, Don Bacon is the guy in the background quietly muttering, "I don't think we should throw grenades at all." Bacon has been subtly criticizing Trump for ages in the driest dad tone imaginable.
Rip the Band-Aid off and get it done. And I wish the president realized that. The more the White House pushes back on this, it just looks bad, right?
He said Trump's Russia stance is too soft. He warned that Medicaid cuts are a terrible idea. He has suggested Trump's gut instinct policymaking is, quote, not helpful.
We're an export state, and our corn and soybeans right now are being shut out of the market, and that's why Nebraska is on its heels right now. We've lost about 6% of our GDP, according to the economic numbers that are official, and that's not a good sign.
Which in Don Bacon language is the equivalent of screaming, "This man is a danger to himself and others," through a megaphone. Thomas Massie in the Epstein Avengers. Then there's Massie. Massie is pushing hard for releasing the Epstein files. And he brought
I hope
friends.
my colleagues are watching this press conference. I want them to think, what if this was your sister? What if this was your daughter? When these survivors speak, the Washington establishment is asking the American public to believe something that is not believable. They're asking you to believe that two individuals created hundreds of victims and they acted alone, and that the DOJ has no idea of who else might have been involved, that nobody else did anything that rose to a criminal enterprise. The American people know that's not true.
Massie said Republicans blocking transparency are basically protecting pedophiles, which is not subtle. That is not diplomatic. That is not, we need to revisit the language of the bill. That's like throwing a political Molotov cocktail through the front door and yelling, "Read that." He even warned, by 2030, you will have voted to protect pedophiles. If your own party is warning you you're protecting pedophiles, you're not just off message. You're in the scenic countryside, far away from the message, sipping tea under a willow tree marked unhinged. Massie is joined by MTG, Lauren Boebert, Jeff Van Drew, and basically every Republican who hears the phrase Epstein files and goes, "Okay, seriously, who are we covering for?" Let's go through their complaints rapid-fire style. MTG. Prices are high. Voters are angry. GOP messaging is delusional. The party is ignoring cost of living. Her kids can't afford life. Young people are suffering. Health insurance is garbage. Basically, she's saying, stop telling people they're rich when they're literally Venmoing their friends $8 for gas. Massie. Epstein files need to be released. Republicans pretending otherwise are cowards. The party should stop hiding behind excuses. Transparency equals moral credibility. Massie is basically the guy in the horror movie yelling, "Maybe we should go check the basement." And everyone else is like, "But that's where the plot twist is." Bacon. Trump is too emotional. The GOP is too reckless. Real policy matters. Stop burning down government institutions like they're old sheds. He's the designated adult in the room. Unfortunately, the others are toddlers with lighters. Trump's response has been very on brand. Caps lock. Because nothing says I'm fine like screaming into the void. Nicknames. He calls dissenters things like disloyal, lost their way, weak. Is basically Regina George from Mean Girls if she had access to the nuclear launch codes. Threats. Trump threatened to back a primary challenger against MTG. Imagine being so mad you threaten to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene with someone potentially worse. That's like firing your arsonist because they set the fire incorrectly. Reality distortion. Trump insists inflation is virtually gone. Meanwhile, MTG is at Kroger like, these strawberries are $9.99 and I'm about to riot. This drama isn't just funny, it's politically consequential. GOP unity is evaporating. What was once a cult is now a cult with factions, which is historically where cults start getting messy. Legislation becomes impossible. It's hard to govern when half the party is yelling, fascism now, and the other half is yelling, can we not be fascist right this second? Voters are confused. Republican messaging is, everything is fine, but also not fine. And the Democrats did it, and also Donald Trump is your father now. Democrats are being handed an opportunity they will almost certainly waste. They're already prepping their, how did we lose this PowerPoint. Here's the part Democrats always screw up. Just talk to people. Don't overthink it. Don't form a committee to form a committee to form a committee. Just say things like, yes, prices suck. Yes, we're fixing it. No, we will not protect billionaires who flew on Epstein's jet. Yes, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be less of a disaster than a political movement having a live-streamed nervous breakdown. So where are we? MAGA is splitting. MTG is yelling about groceries. Massie is yelling about pedophiles. Bacon is yelling in his polite indoor voice. Trump is yelling because, well, hell, that's his only setting. This party isn't a party anymore. It's a YouTube comment section with congressional salaries. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more political chaos, and remember, you can't fix stupid, but you can join me occasionally where we can make fun of it every week. Have a great Thanksgiving, y'all.